IVM.
I actually look forward to paying my bills now. The Cred app gives you reminders when your bill is due, looks for hidden charges on your bill, and offers amazing rewards and cashbacks for just paying your credit card bills on time. There are always exciting offers to be won. So don't miss out. Just download Cred. Hello, one. Hello, all. Welcome to the Diary of the Traveling Professor. And I'm Siddharth Deshmukh, your friendly neighborhood traveling professor himself, talking to you this Thursday. My mood is certainly a little bit better from what I was when I recorded the one on Tuesday, wherein it was a tribute more or less to Dr. Jay Trivedi more than anything else. But I've also talked about COVID innovations. This diary entry of mine, I wanted to focus on something positive, and I wanted to focus on something that is basically changing in our world around us. And that is the way in which we should be looking at education. Yeah, I have this sneaky feeling, and it has become stronger and stronger in my case, and it probably is because this is the time when all academics actually take a break from academic things like teaching and administrating in schools or B schools or wherever they are, and actually do a bit of research, actually do a bit of reskilling or upskilling. Now, if academics are doing it, why not the rest of the populace? I think that this is an idea whose time has come, and we are seeing it in action from all intelligent people. Especially, on LinkedIn, you see a lot of people trying to upskill themselves. Now, upskilling has been incredibly important in the past few years, and we need to kind of separate it away from the rest of the education stuff that we keep talking about. Most students of mine, when they are actually studying, probably they're fed up with all the stuff that they're getting educated on, don't want to get a drop of education as soon as they graduate or postgraduate. They want to go out into the, in quotes, real world. They want to make sure that they don't waste their time getting certifications or degrees. They think they're ready and they want to move up on ahead. Now, here's the sad and ugly truth. The sad and ugly truth is that it's quite possible that they have learned a lot of useful things, but they have learned a lot of useless things also in education. And education needs to be actually understood as through a variety of filters, really. One of them is that education is an insurance good and a luxury good. What do I mean by that? It means that if I'm paying a lot of money to make sure that I get certified, and if I'm paying a lot of money to make sure that I get a job, I get placed, that means that it's an insurance good. I'm insuring myself against life in that sense, or against the pitfalls of life if I don't get educated. Education is also a luxury good. Education can be seen as an elite thing. Yes, I belong to this, so it's a prestige thing that I belong to this school. I got this honor. I am part of an elite crew. All of that stuff comes up, and it does pay a lot of dividends in the real world because you are recognized. I mean, if you're from the hallowed school campus, you're going to get recognized as in, again, special quotes, a special one, right? So education is focused a lot nowadays, I see, through these two filters of insurance and luxury, while actually education is a utility good and education is a necessity. So if I look at it as education as a necessity sort of filter, perhaps your education doesn't stop when you step out of that hallowed campus wherever you may be. And it has got nothing to do with it. It doesn't even start. It has got nothing to do with the fact that you're getting a certification or with the fact that you're getting a degree and the rest of it. I think that if I look at getting placed and getting certified as two things, upskilling is you maintaining that job, to be honest, and rising up in your career. I think upskilling is very, very crucial for you to actually have a good career instead of just having a good job off campus. In fact, that has always been my go-to argument. Does your education and does your institute give you an ability to have a good career rather than just a good job off campus? And sadly, a lot of people might say no because it is a very different thing to get a career. Because for that, you have to continuously invest in upskilling yourself. Now, there are many ways of upskilling yourself, and I'm sure that you are aware of them. Like LinkedIn Learning is there, and so many other private platforms like Coursera and Unacademy and Udemy and Graphy and whatever it is. You have a lot of platforms, and you have the ability to learn from the best of teachers in a skill that you want to actually upgrade yourself or upskill yourself to. I just want you to understand that there will always be a window, like an academic has a window of maybe a month wherein they refresh themselves. Because unless and until, like for example, an academic refreshes their material, their content, their understanding, their knowledge, they're going to have a class of students who are not only going to be poorer off, but they're going to give feedback about the teacher saying that he or she is using outdated examples. So every academic has to refresh material, and I think academics are closer to this reality because students are students, and they know how to speak their mind, and they know exactly where the buck stops, and they're most connected to the new trends and the new things that are happening out there, not just in the marketplace but life in general, because they're probably more curious than a lot of other jaded souls. But when we get into the workplace, we become jaded, and we then are not challenged almost every single day unless and until you've got a really good team and a really good boss who are encouraging you to learn more things. We are focused on achieving what we are trying to achieve in that quarter. We are focused on trying to achieve what we have to achieve on that day and get on with the busyness of life. But over the past year or so, I have seen at least 5,000 people, succeed through various programs that I've been part of. More than 5,000, actually, 10,000 people succeed through various programs that I've been part of and have taught. And all of these guys have been upskilling themselves. Sure, they probably are also in it for the certification and for the potential placement opportunities and jumps that they're getting at. Those could be triggers. But I'm saying perhaps now the time has come to also continuously upskill yourself, which has got nothing to do with even certifications or job skills and job jumps. Maybe invest in a weekend workshop, learn a life skill, learn a work skill, whatever it may be. I think continuous education probably begins when formal education ends, because then the onus is on us. Have you charted out an upskilling path for yourself? I'm going to leave you with this thought. Do look at what you want to learn. Do look at the best of the best, and you can get them on the platforms that I mentioned earlier, and connect with them and learn. And it's okay if you pay a few rupees, or it's okay if you find a free course. That is completely your choice and your situation. But the fact is, please invest in yourself and upskill yourself, because I like to look at it as seasons. Was season 1 better than season 2 of any series? Is what we always talk to ourselves, especially when it comes to all these wonderful Netflix and other OTT channels. Now, is your season 2 going to be better than season 1? Look at your life as seasons. How about that? Thought for the week. Thought for the week. All right. On that happy note, then, I do hope that you like this diary entry of mine. Many more to come from where this came from. And if you like me, I make funny stuff on Instagram, and I make a little more serious notes on LinkedIn. Do follow me on those platforms, and go to IVM and listen to other podcasts that they so regularly and wonderfully churn out. On that happy note, see you next week.
I hope you enjoyed that show. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'd like to thank our sponsors on the network this week: Cred, Siet, TheWholeTruthFoods.com, and PayPal. We really do appreciate the support. On Cyrus Says, we discussed quite a bit about the local assembly elections this month. Vasanthi Hariprakash was there to talk about the West Bengal elections, and then we also spoke to Pradeep Gupta, a psephologist and author. He's the chairman and MD of Access My India. Do definitely check that episode out. Great conversation. Tune into This Round Is On Me, where Gauri Devi Dayal caught up on the latest trends in the PR industry with Archana Jain from PR Pundit. On The Habit Coach, Ashton Doctor spoke to Anandita Chatterjee. She's the founder of Travel Chatter. She's been a marketer with some large firms and has traveled to 67 countries so far. It was a RuPaul Drag Race fan club on KBCD where Farhad and Sunetro discussed the show's best moments and talents. Amber Rana was joined by celebrity fitness trainer Shivoham on Know Your Kanun to discuss fitness laws and regulations in India. They talk about the laws and infrastructure that exist to protect gyms, trainers, and also consumers in the fitness industry. And on the note with Maruk Inayat, we have clinical psychologist and friend of the network, Sonali Gupta. She talks about ongoing mental health issues like survivor's guilt, coping with anxiety around the pandemic, and doom scrolling. And with that, we hope to see you again next week.
Namaskar, dear friends. My name is Ashish Vidyarthi. Life, as you know, is a journey. And you and I, travelers, how can we celebrate this travel? I have a podcast for you, Begin the Journey. I share stories and moments from my life. Do tune in every Monday and Thursday to listen to my podcast on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcast from. Cheers.
If you love cricket, listen up. The Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast is here for you. Hosted by DJ, Varun, and me, Ashwin, we bring a fun, fresh fan's point of view to talking all things cricket. Sometimes it's just the three of us, sometimes we have guests, including current and former international cricketers. For new episodes every week, check out the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast on the IVM app, website, or wherever you get your podcasts.